request that I'd like to make to the senators. Boone County, we're geographically, I'd like to see us kept together. I'd hate to see us split out. So that's my request, that when you look at this, to keep Boone County together. And the reason for that, we're already kind of separated with our mountains. You know, we have a big whole area to look on, and that keeps it, you know, we get territorial. And because we have lost population, I'd like to see us stay wherever we land. I'd like to see us kept intact.
I'm Mark Kirkendall, former past president of Logan County Commission, was a commissioner for 30 years. And the comments Sue Ann made, I genuinely agree with. You know, our counties, which Dr. Stone is one of the representatives, and Senator Tomlin is still senator and acting governor from the 7th, is Logan, Boone, Lincoln, and part of Wayne. And you know the ceramic industry in Logan, Lincoln, and Boone, and part of Wayne is we're an energy area. Geographically, we're attached. The 7th is encompassed by 3 total counties of population, which is Logan, which is the biggest of the counties that were all 3 total county populations, those of that particular district. You have Boone and Lincoln, and then we encompass part of Wayne. And just looking at the numbers that would be needed to fix the 7th senatorial district to put in compliance, whether you use the ratio of 4% or if you went all the way to the total number, and I'm certainly going to start talking about taking Mr. Plotnell's area away, but it would make sense to me to at least take a look at adding more to Wayne in the 7th, and that district is taken care of. And there's going to be some simple ways to look at this and some tough ways. Rather than just go maybe into another county that has never been part of the 7th, that people don't know the representative, it will take years to know the representatives, no matter who it was, the problems that you have, and most certainly Southern West Virginia's needs down here is infrastructure. And that's something we're going to look at long term and hope to accomplish and keep producing energy and making our area what it is. But the only thing I would ask the panel, take a hard look at when you start moving the lines to give the numbers that you need to for all the districts, is just look if it's not a simplistical way to look at just adding more of Wayne County to the 7th district to make those numbers, and the 7th would be done. And you're not going to be able to, all of it's not going to be simple. You know, we got all the districts going to be 4 or 5 that you can make a move pretty quick and add a town or 2 and get your numbers up. But certainly there's going to be some new boundary lines drawn and new counties added in. But I just think from what I've seen, to satisfy the needs of the 7th and to help offset what you're trying to do, that would be one thing to look at, is just add more Wayne County into our district. And first of all, I disagree with the census. We've had enrollment in all of our schools in our county, and our numbers are down, and that's hard to coincide those two effects, unless we've had more people die than we've had an influx of students in our schools. But again, I don't think it's something that's happened with the census the way they did it. Just a lot of people don't comply with the census data. But you go look at our enrollment in all our schools. Every school in our county has had an enrollment influx of students. Logan went back to AAA. Chapmanville has more enrollment, and you can even discount the Hart students that came up. There's still an enrollment increase. So if nothing else, I'd like for this panel to look at these census numbers of some of these areas that we've had an influx of school enrollment and find out how these numbers are down. It'd be a very interesting way to check something, because I challenge those numbers. I mean, if you just look at the reality of the effect of an increase in the only population in your school system, and then they say you've lost 900,000 people, it's hard to believe. And with people living longer too. So, I mean, the doctors tell you that living on 10 years longer than they did 2 decades ago, you know. But again, I think my most noted comments are, I think the 7th could be fixed fairly easily, and I don't relish what you guys got to do. I mean, there's going to be some tough decisions, but to fix some of them, besides the 7th, I think you need to look at the simple way to fix some of them, and then, you know, because only if you start just rerouting all the boundaries just purely on numbers, I think there's going to be a disarray of activity in Charleston and what they do and how they do it. That'd be my comments, and I appreciate your time. For the record, I think Mingo, Logan, and Boone, and not even counting Lincoln, which has a huge mine down there, but sent $167 million to the state of West Virginia for last, I believe, is a pretty active number, and we got $11 million back. So I want you to take into consideration when the coal severance bill goes back on the docket.
Yes.
That means our infrastructure needs everything, it's fair. It's a 5% to the coal producing counties. We give non-coal producing counties 25% of our revenue. And if we got racetracks, whitewater rafting and things, we applaud all that and we support it. But some of the towers, we should give 25% of the way. We're only asking for 5% for our coal producing counties, which is 27 of us now, over half the state. But for a county like Boone, it would probably be $1 million a year. And I want to make one comment to Richard and some of them to clarify. Some of the comments we talked about, we don't want the county commissions and all this to, be able to hire local people. It was never intended, but I dealt with Delegate Stowers from Lincoln on the language of the bill. It was for infrastructure and job creation, and also in the final draft you've seen, it was the ability within the discretion of the county commission, not mandatory, to allow for orphan road, because Southern West Virginia has about 70% of the roads are orphan. The state has no system to fix them. And in Logan, what I would ask the county commission to do is put $250,000 away each year out of that additional revenue and go into these areas, pull the ditch lines, put a base down, put gravel. These people are driving across dastardly roads to get to the main artery to go to work to pay this tax and beating their cars and trucks to death. That was a very simple way to fix the road issue in Southwest Virginia. Because if you had a road crew, a county road crew, not dependent, not mandatory, but within the discretion of the commission, that's the reason I thought the commission should have the money. And Logan, they have $14 million. Over a 5-year period, if you did 1% each year, it would probably end up being about $2.7 million for Logan. Well, these gentlemen that I work with and serve with, they can handle another $1 million, and they'll do it properly and correctly. But one comment nobody mentioned, they were talking about jobs. It was set up for water infrastructure and the road repair. But if you put all these additional applications through the development office, now think about this. If Logan County had $1 million, right now we got a $300,000 project to put sewer up to Stallings. That's a quick fix. We got businesses sitting there that's not even open. We don't have to, we're trying to get the money. If we had that money, we could have done it in 90 days, had 30 more people to work. But if you, and I'm not criticizing, but if you send it to the development office, and each county that gets this money does 3 projects, that's over 100 more projects for the development office to pull with. Now, they're the ones who have to hire more people. But if you put it in the hands of the Logan County Commission and these southern commissions and these people that it's their money, they can get the job done. And get more people to work and everything else, because I can tell you, we get a lot of money from the development office, but every grant you get is a year behind. And you can't wait on development when somebody wants to put a job in, put 25 people to work. We got a restaurant that may shut down before they open because we can't get sewer to them. But if we had this money, we would have had the mainline trunk up there, and we would have done it within the vicinity of the county, because it's our money. And the 5% should be in the hands of the people. We only get 7% of our money now. And we're only asking for 5%, and I don't like the fact you're doing it over a 5-year period, to tell you the truth, but I can live with that. Additional money each year over a 5-year period don't deplete y'all's revenue too bad. But it needs to be looked at and looked at quick.
Just to bring it up today, we got that bill with 20 minutes to go in session on the last night. Had we been in total agreement, we probably couldn't have got it filed in time. So that's one of the reasons it failed. Now, the very next day, the Monday, after the Saturday that the session ended, the Senate leadership wrote a letter to the governor asking that bill be put on the session, on the agenda for a special session. Now, in the couple of weeks after that, it was discussed throughout the state. I think the governor was asked by a reporter in Beckley that, should you have a special session, will you put the coal service bill back on the agenda? And the governor's response was, if the Senate and the House has a worked out version of the bill. Now, at that point, I contacted Delegate Komenar in Mingo County. He was the chair of the conference committee on the House side. The president asked me to negotiate with him on a new bill, and we have a product. We have a product that basically defines what it limits the spending of money to infrastructure and economic development. In the bill, we define what infrastructure is, and it includes roads. We define what economic development is.
Does the money come to the commission or the?
We also have the money coming straight to the county commissions.
That's great.
And the only oversight, the only thing I want to add to that is the oversight in it is that the county commissions have to report to the joint committee on government finance at the end of every year or fiscal year. I'm not sure how.
Well, that's not a problem, because it'd be about 4 projects, and the amount of money you get each year, and it's not a problem.
Well,
I applaud that too. I like the oversight.
Well, we've got a bill that I've agreed to and Steve agreed to, and I think we can speak for our respective houses. That we're ready to go to the governor with it. He knows about it, and should we have a special session, we got to make sure he puts it on the agenda.
All right, very good. Good news.